Damn. It does. Do we have a continue? Here, come back. I could have sworn I played the first level on this game and it was like a different level. Use a grenade. Second button. Yeah.
God.
The best thing is just
Oh shit. We both got hit by that. We can't even use that, huh?
use shit.
No.
Everything in this game is hard.
What about that guy with the bazooka? Oh yeah, I got it, look. I can only use 3 shots on it though. Oh shit! Come. What happened? You got soft locked?
Oh, it's a shame because this game is so lovely made.
Flamethrower. Oh fuck yeah, look at that. Oh shit.
I wish I could hurt you for
You can hurt me.
no,
Do it.
I can't.
Oh, you mean like in the video game you want to hurt me? Okay. Jesus, this is hard, dude. What are we supposed to do here? Wait, what?
Not get shot. Get there fast. Did you just drop down into...
Wait, what? Do we just have to use it?
What?
Okay.
Are they...
That's terrible.
Ain't they dead yet?
It's a terrible game. Oh, it says unable to connect to chat for some reason, so let me go. I gotta go
Cool.
to YouTube. Hey everybody. This is episode 51 of MAME Politics. This is my special guest, my lovely wife, Laurie Kirchner.
Yeah.
Yo.
You couldn't get anyone else to come over here during
No,
the
I couldn't.
lockdown?
I couldn't.
I'm kidding.
So the chat's
You
down
wouldn't.
on where I was just looking at, so I gotta reload this really quick to see what the hell you guys are saying. Oh, there's a bunch of you already talking in
Holy
here. Jesus,
shit.
I didn't even realize.
Hey
It
guys.
glitched out.
Why is everyone home?
How is
going on?
everybody? Have you seen this terrible game before? You guys seen this awful game? JNNX. They have an NES game of this. It's called Russian Attack. And it's a terrible game. Also, it's not a good game.
The same as this.
It's
version,
actually probably
right?
better than the arcade version, just like Contra is. A lot of the Konami games suffered from having bad arcade versions, but better NES conversions.
Game's a piece of shit. Sorry, it's true.
Yeah, no, it is. I agree. So, should we? Are we gonna play it?
I mean, you want to play it more?
I kind of don't.
It.
I regret. This is the unofficial sequel to Russian Attack. Are you sure? Because Mission in Action 2, I thought was the sequel. I'm pretty sure that it was called Russian Attack on the NES. It's not a sequel to it.
Even the attract screen doesn't make it look fun.
No, yeah. I mean, I could see how if you're like a boy in the 80s, a teenage boy, this would have been really exciting because it's got like Rambo, Commando, kind of like 80s military culture shit going on in it. I don't know. We're going to play some 2-player games, John. I don't think Asteroids is 2 players. Is it? Asteroids 2 players? I don't think so.
No. I mean, well, it might be like switch off 2-player. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think... Let's see. Let me find some other 2-player games for us.
Oh yeah, because this is a pajama shirt and I'm basically in my pajamas 24/7. I'm wearing a Misfit shirt. I get a Danzig. I never Graves. They're both. Danzig's kind of funny. I have a soft spot for him. He's hilarious.
I'm trying to find something else for us to play, honey. I don't know. We fucked up. Or I fucked up. I was one behind
We
that
ran out of
decision.
games, guys.
How about we do this? Did we actually even play Sunset Riders before?
Oh, we played it on our own.
Yeah.
We finished it.
We did. It's like one of the only games Laurie and I
cute.
played all the way through. Should we do it?
It's cute looking.
Yeah, so let's do Sunset Riders, man.
All right, fine. let's not play like Red Dawn or whatever the other version of that game is. Cool. Somebody approved Sunset Riders. So
Oh, it's a
let's
great
do it.
game. Yeah.
It looks fantastic. Oh yeah, this has really good like level intro.
Of course I know about Tucker's dad, Jinx. He's a CIA plant. Tucker's program is a CIA limited hangout op, guaranteed. Shit was planned all along. Total limited hangout op. I'm sure of it now, more than ever. It was to buy off a large swath of the anti-war movement so they wouldn't talk any shit about Tucker Carlson while he unleashes a torrent, a fire hose of neocon propaganda on China. Oh, I forgot we're supposed to jump on them and run, but now we just sent on the barn, I guess.
Oh no.
Oh, I love it. So good. Whoever made this game is fucking awesome. Like even that like reverb yee-hee is like so good. Very Japanese sounding. Oh no, you're gonna get me.
Please continue.
Yee-hee! It's so good. Why is that so aesthetically pleasing, that one sound?
Run to avoid getting killed. It's very
Did they also
good
use that
call to
sound?
action.
Boss character.
Cool.
It's kind of hard actually. If you want to
Time to pay. Please continue.
Oh, I got flattened by the barrel like Simpson style. It was awesome. Oh, it happened again. Fuck you.
Please continue.
Son of a bitch.
Ah. Okay. This is only like a 6-level game or 5-level game.
Yeah, the sprite design though is so cool. Love it. Hey everybody, sorry I didn't do a roll call for everybody this time. Our chat was glitched, but it's good to see some familiar faces in here. Hey John. So is anybody else under mandatory stay in orders right now? Mandatory lockdown, where you're supposed to stay home except for essential needs only.
Please continue.
Oh shit. Not yet. Doesn't say anybody is yet besides us. I think the Bay Area is like one of the first areas to do it. Kind of strange. The bastard police, you say there's going to be a curfew soon? Where are you right now? In New York? I heard that about New York, that they already are doing a curfew. I thought I heard that. I don't know if that's true or not. game's a little tiring on the hands, huh?
Is it? Yeah, there's no
It's like a-
turbo mode. for
no.
this fucking Honduran.
It's fun though. It's a really nice play. It's like
Yeah.
it's smooth.
Draw, Pilgrim.
It's fair. It's not. It's like it's basically like if they made another Contra game for the arcade that played like this, it'd be perfectly fine. They just never bothered to, because the Contra games on the consoles play more like this, where they're like really smooth and easy to play. Yeah, I love the gameplay on this game. For a side-scrolling shoot 'em up like this, great.
Please continue.
He's gonna jump down here and fuck with us now? What the fuck?
You
Weird.
got me.
Huh.
Not too small. That's not weird.
So what do we do here? What the fuck? I like how that music speeds up. It's a fun little component to it. Ah!
Fuck.
Oh, you almost got. You almost.
Yeah.
Almost. Whoa! A very homoerotic.
Dark horse.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Are we gonna
He's a
fight
hunk.
that
Look
guy?
at
Or
that
are we gonna fuck that
motherfucker.
guy?
I know, yeah. You should, Whoa, what happened? Did I just have sex with a prostitute in there?
I think you did. Yeah.
Weird. Why the,
Jeez,
oh
I
shit,
went
I
in
just
one
shot
of
a prostitute.
I went one of those secret doors and all I got was like a
A dynamite?
drinks or something. Yeah.
What?
Oh no.
I love that sprite animation.
I know.
Oh, that's
I
so
look
good.
so good when I go to Chris Cruise all the time.
Shit. For anybody who likes this game and hasn't also checked out Mystic Warriors, that's the game I played on the very first episode of Main
Cool.
Politics.
This
so.
time I got to do it.
Nice. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Have I always had spread this whole time? It's weird. Can't even remember. My gun is great. I don't even really have to aim it that nicely.
This is fun.
Yeah. Yeah, everything, all the
you got
movement
flat
on this
out.
game is great. I wish I could select a different character when I continue. I don't know how to. What? What the hell's going on? It went off the screen. Didn't get
Yeah.
it. Should we take a short break after we beat this boss?
Yeah.
You in deep, big trouble.
Damn, look at him. Look at this motherfucker. Whoa!
Please continue.
I have no idea what like the boss. Oh, you're supposed to go under him. I think when he jumps.
I was
But
sure that was slide.
he doesn't though. He doesn't really jump very good.
Please
Like,
continue.
how are you supposed to? This is gonna be a suicide run. I feel like gonna have to keep blasting him right up to his face. Too hard. I have no idea what to do here. I guess you're supposed to slide under him when he does that, but he doesn't do it most of the time. He just runs. Like I guess that's.
It was actually
Please
telling him.
continue.
It was telling him when he was shooting.
I know, but I mean, even still, we're supposed to also avoid dying, and there's got to be a pattern to it. Oh, we're supposed to go up there. That's what it is.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Jesus Christ. I knew there was a pattern to being here before.
Please continue.
Damn,
Please
the
continue.
horse also shoots bullets, like out of something. Nonsensical.
Me in big trouble.
Huh. Omar Rana, you need to watch all the episodes of it because I feel like I've definitely played funnier looking games than this.
You all right, ma'am?
Oh, those terrible men. Please help.
All right, ma'am. Don't worry about it.
Weird. Smith Bros. They're big fans.
We're gonna blow you away. Yeah.
This game is very Japanese
I think that's the
Western.
real boss. So that was like the sub boss. Should we chat for people for a little bit?
So loud.
Yeah, I know. I turned it hella loud. A Catch-22 says, so far the U.S. is the only nation I'm aware of where the deaths are higher than the recovered. I mean, is that because we're still early into this, or is that what you mean by that? So you haven't really spoken about this since shit got really real. Do you want to tell people?
I mean, everybody knows what's going on. Shit
I
sucks.
know.
I'm lucky
But I
I have
mean-
a job where I could work remotely, so it's easy for me compared to other people who like are bartenders and shit. I'm glad that the conversation so quickly turned to like, what is everybody gonna do? It's so funny how quickly people just start to think, oh yeah, a universal basic income temporarily seems like a totally reasonable expenditure. Once, you know, it seems apparent like that's what's required to calm people down for a second. And I don't know. I'm hopeful that things won't descend into utter chaos. That's about it.
How much are you guys expecting to be locked down? Are some of you thinking that that's not going to happen? Because I feel like at this point, what do you think, Laurie? Do you think that the whole country is eventually going to be giving stay-in orders at some point?
I mean, I guess it depends. It's like a difficult thing. Like, it's not like shutting down a small country that shares like a ton of borders with like countries that it doesn't completely like, you know, kick around and shit. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on how things go. I feel like there will be some sort of like normalized point at which like we've either done what we can or we realize there's nothing you can do and this is just going to happen. Like that conversation's like still playing out. So I don't know. I think it's reasonable to be worried about that, but it's also like not worth being obsessed over whether or not that's like the eventuality.
Yeah. Someone was saying the sound's a little quiet, so I'm going to try to turn it up a little bit. How's that, guys? Is that better? Or is it too loud now? Check, 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 check. Check. How's that? Trish was saying it was too quiet. Hey, Trish. Hey, Peter. Hey, Carl.
Hey everyone.
There's some static. There's a constant buzzing, said someone.
Should we have grounded
Uh-oh.
this? Uh-oh.
I wonder why that's happening.
Oh my god, Ned Ryerson, I love your video. That was so cool to make like a 50 episode compilation of just a good selection of moments. Hold on, Robbie's doing some troubleshooting and now I can't even see the chat. And I don't want to touch anything.
Is it better now? Like, how loud is it, guys?
Sounds like when I plug my guitar into my amp. Yeah. It's a hum.
Buzz is louder now. Okay.
Okay. What about this? You don't? Are you sure?
I'm not sure, but I don't think it is.
People are saying it's worse now, but this is, I don't know.
I'm turning it down. Yeah, I don't know why the buzzing is still happening. Check. Oh wait, now. Wait a second. Shit. Check. I don't know if that's any better, guys. I don't know. Okay. Well. Um. So. Who is not expecting to be locked down at all and is not even remotely worried about this in terms of being forced to stay in your homes by law enforcement? And out of the people who say that they're not concerned about that, who's living outside the United States, and tell me where you are living. You have a good point. It says, me, I will not. Tell me where you are, if you don't mind, just and why you're not concerned. Emu Singh says, I'm in Colorado. Doesn't seem too concerning at the moment. Spencer Richards says, London. Bird Worlda says, total people infected today doubled today in my state. Pennsylvania, you're in Pennsylvania. Yeah, what makes you think that they're not going to lock down parts of Pennsylvania? Because my thinking is, I think that that Trump is eventually going to issue some kind of stay-in order for the whole country. And they're going to basically they're already talking about giving people universal basic income for some unforeseeable amount of time. $1,000 check it's going to start with, and then whatever. So basically, it's going to be some kind of stipend way of making it so even if people aren't even allowed to go to work, like it seems like they're preparing to shut down the entire U.S. economy in a certain way. But of course, they'll still have to keep up infrastructure like electricity companies, water companies, things like that. But I don't know.
Like as long as people are going to get groceries and goods delivered, and they're going to leave open that sector of things.
True. Yeah.
Like
Service industry jobs, some of them will still have to stay open.
yeah, America is capitalistic to a point where it believes like almost spiritually in the concept of like you being able to consume freely as like this American ideal. So everything that can possibly be done is going to be done to like maintain that. And you know, luckily, like America has lost so many like manufacturing jobs, and a lot of people do work in like the service sector. And if it's virtual service, like what I do, where it's like a tech company, then it's very easy to convert your work into remote stuff, at least for like a little while. I do worry about people like going out doing like the delivery for like DoorDash or, you know, grocery delivery and other stuff, because those people are going to be like at a more measurable, like just inarguable higher risk, you know, you should almost get like hazard pay for those types of jobs that have become sort of like menial in this economy. So like I don't foresee like they're trying to stave off the economy shutting down. The idea that they're going to shut something down and create some sort of like fascist hellscape where we're all in little prisons of our own homes, it's like, what would be the end game of that?
I think the end game would be just to shock us so much and get us to be so complacent that they can basically make any excuse. They can take away whatever civil liberties they want of ours moving forward and not have to explain why. Like, they don't even have to say, you know, there's more terrorist attacks coming. You know, it's like 9/11. They had to keep basically making us afraid that more terrorist attacks are coming to get us to go into these new wars, to take away our civil liberties. This is such a jarring global event that they don't even have to do that. All they have to do is just scare everybody, get them to stay home for a certain amount of time, and, you know, then people will just get used to that.
Yeah, but like people acting like I don't know, like I'm not for people advocating that you should go out and walk the streets, but there's almost like luckily there's always going to be like an apathetic subset of people that are going to say, oh, this is just a flu, like the mortality rate is actually pretty low, so like why is everybody locking themselves indoors? Like let's just all fucking deal with it and get it. Like there's definitely always going to be like that kind of fatalistic undercurrent. There's not going to be enough people like who would take that seriously as like an existential threat if the mortality rate, unless we figure out that it's like actually 30% or something. Like, you know, we were talking to some friends of ours who are not epidemiologists, but like, you know, there's already starting to be like theories coming out that this is going to subside, life is going to go back to like something resembling normal, and then this might just be like a part of every like flu, cold, and coronavirus season where it's this much more deadly than the regular flu kind of epidemic situation we have to deal with and manage, but it's not like we're all getting like the actual Black Death, you know? So
Well, yeah, that's
you can't treat a population like this is Ebola if it actually has the mortality rate of like 10 times the flu. Like
But-
you can't keep people in that state of fear for that long.
well, true, but I mean they've already locked down the entire country of Italy, Spain. So why would it be so far-fetched for them to issue a full federal lockdown here? Trump said today he's a wartime president now. This is a war. We're in the U.S. empire. They're not going to let this crisis go to waste. I guess that's where my thinking keeps going.
That's true.
I mean, this is going to have ripple effects that will extend far beyond what we saw from 9/11. And I just tweeted this before we started, that I thought that the other shoe dropping after 9/11, was going to be a 9/11 scale event under Trump. This was one of my main fears under Trump, is that there would be some opportunity like a 9/11 like attack here, where they might just blow up a few buildings on live television. This is so many magnitudes more extreme than that, and how they'll be able to utilize it for whatever agendas these evil motherfuckers have. I can't even articulate how much bigger it is. It just is. I mean, the after effects of this. So that's what I find most scary right now. And I'm not I do probably think on some level the social distancing thing is a good idea. People shouldn't, be interacting too much in groups right now. But yeah, the virus itself, it's hard to put a real number on like the mortality rate so far. I mean, I guess people are still saying they're saying it's even lower now, like 1.5%, because there's been more data coming in. I mean, what have you been reading, Laurie?
I mean, viruses mutate, so there's already like many, many, many different versions of it, and we already know so fucking little that there's no idea like what mortality level. Like, it seems to be different from country to country, and then it's like mutating at like some sort of fast rate. Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm somebody who can like understand science generally in the abstract, and I read The Hot Zone as a kid, and I've always thought this was like kind of a scary thing to happen, but it's like this is like it's worth panicking to a certain degree, but on another level, like even if this were a virus that causes like 1 out of 2 people to just instantly drop dead, it's like we're not going to fix it before we're all exposed.
Well, this thing Bayonets and Harmonica said is it is very concerning when you hear that even though the rate of infection seems to be leveling off in Italy, he says 475 deaths in one day in Italy. I feel like that alone should make us take it very, very seriously.
But that's just an arbitrary number. That's a fallacious argument. 475 deaths in one day in Italy. Like, how many old people generally die in one day in Italy? Italy's got a really old population. Like, that's just a fact in a vacuum being used as like a cudgel a little bit. Like, I haven't left the house since last week. Like, we bought a bunch of groceries. We don't have like a room filled with toilet paper. We're not hoarding things, but we are preparing to just like hunker down and be responsible citizens. Like, I'm taking it seriously. But I also don't feel like we're going to be in our homes in 6 months hiding out from a virus with a 4% blended mortality rate. Like,
virus and martial law
sure.
together.
Yeah, like I feel like, there's enough dispensations going out, and people's better nature, I hope, will prevail when people realize that, especially if you have incompetent leadership, like, you have to just look out for your neighbor, and society has to like rely on the fabric of like your neighbor. Yeah, I mean, I'm not posting like boomer remover memes to Facebook, and I worry about the older and more like vulnerable people in like everybody's family and in our family. So, you know, we got plenty of weed though. Like
We do.
I'm still I'm ordering.
We should.
You know, I'm ordering vitamin C and emergency and like stupid shit like everybody else, but I'm not like stockpiling it for the apocalypse. Like life will go on unless some other virus comes out of a lab, a bat market, nowhere, anywhere, Mars, and like kills us all. Like I guess I'm just ultimately like more fatalistic in a way.
Don't lean on the bat market stuff too much because I feel I'm like really
I
worried
know.
about where that's going right now.
I'm making a joke, and
I
I
know
really
you
want
are.
to touch my face because it itches, but I'm not
Don't
going to
do
do
it.
it on camera. But
I'm gonna leave you by yourself for a second to get a glass of water.
Okay.
Do you want me to get anything else from the kitchen?
No, that's
The one
fine.
up there? Okay.
But yeah, I don't literally mean that like bat markets, like I'd never heard the term wet market before. I've never been to China to go exotic meat shopping, so it's just not even part of my world. I do find it funny when a lot of that stuff just instantly there's like this really compelling like oh my god story, but it's like ultimately it doesn't fucking matter where it came from. Tom Collector saying Sam Harris said the bat markets are bioweapons hubs. Oh my god, that's really funny. Thank you. That's a good joke. I trust Sam Harris as an expert on both bioweapons and Chinese meat markets. He's the ultimate clown. I can't. There's certain people that I just cannot watch speak. Like he's definitely one of them. Ugh. You guys ever see that video where it's like Jordan Peterson talking to Jordan Peterson? That's a funny video. Where the hell's Robbie? I hear him walking around upstairs. Oh no, somebody ate a quarter of their edibles last night in a fit of anxiety. Well, hopefully you're still high at least. Someone said something good about Sam Harris.
Tom Collector.
Yep.
I'm sure it was him. Yeah, Sam Harris is a straight up neocon cunt motherfucker. And that motherfucker needs to get crushed. I still think it was really sus that he went after Abby on Sam Harris for saying that 1 million people were killed in Iraq. I mean, why would he choose to interrupt Joe Rogan's program to even mention that? I mean, it needs to be stated that his partner in crime, Majid Nawaz, who worked at his Project Reason New Atheist think tank, was actually being funded by the UK government at the same time Sam Harris did that to Abby. It's pretty weird. The Israeli government tried to also lobby Joe Rogan to get Abby kicked off. Shit's really creepy. Ned Ryerson, how's it going, dude? Thanks again for that video. That was amazing. You put a lot of work into that. That was fucking great.
Faint signals from Vega. I will check out ContraPoint's Natalie Wynn. Have you watched this video? Somebody's take on Jordan Peterson. I don't know if I want to watch any like Jordan Peterson related content. I already know what I think of him.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, Trish, but I am familiar with ContraPoints, and I have seen some of her videos. They're pretty good. I like the content that she's putting out. Bird Wilda says, I got doxxed for going after Majid Nawaz on Twitter. Was it worth it? I hope it was worth it. Because that motherfucker needs to get crushed, too. He's a real stealth neocon piece of shit. I mean, I'm really aggressively going to call out all of these neocon, anti-China propaganda pushing people right now.
Okay, if it's funny, yeah, I'll definitely.
Oh, Omar Rana, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I saw that she was gonna Skype in, but then I couldn't tell. I saw it on Facebook. It looked like it was still like a real event, and I was like, I wonder if that'll happen. That's too bad though.
Triox, Doom Eternal. I think it's a beautiful looking game. Aesthetically, it's an amazing package. I even like the weird glitchy metal music in it. watching movies of it makes me really excited, but then I remember how much I was frustrated by the previous Doom game and how weird it was that it was just all these triggered, segmented area cinematic style demon nests that you had to kill the nest and kill all the demons in the room, and then you had to clear that room and go to the next room. That's not Doom.
Oh, the one that's like super, super hard?
Yeah, I mean, great aesthetically, beautiful game. I'm going to give credit to the people who made it, but it's not Doom. It's not. Bayonets and Harmonicas was the previous Doom game. Doom 3, no. They just called it Doom. It was basically for consoles and PC. Doom Eternal is the sequel to the new Doom. Ooh, that hurts my ears. That whatever.
Lighter?
Laurie bought a plasma lighter, which is really weird, and it hurts my ears. It like makes like a loud, like a beep tone.
I
or
like
something.
it.
Eee.
I don't care.
It scares me. Put it away.
It scared the dog, too.
It scares the shit out of me.
It's my apocalyptic scorpion mini taser.
I also, even though I like Doom 3 as a game, I don't think that it was as good as Doom 1 or 2. I mean, I think Doom 2, if they were able to make Doom Eternal play like Doom 2 with the same style level design, it would be one of the best new games ever made. The same graphic engine. Like, they should just reskin Doom 2 or make similar levels to it with all the same enemies with that quality of graphics. I just do not appreciate what they've done to change the whole gameplay flow of Doom, because that's the whole point of it to me. And there's really never been a first-person shooter besides maybe like Serious Sam and some other like old-school games that are really in that style of Doom.
I don't even know that game.
Yeah, it was kind of like a comedy first-person shooter kind of, where like
Sounds silly.
Duke Nukem was pretty decent too. Oh yeah, Bayonets and Harmonicas. Doom 3 graphics were impressive at the time, he says. 2004 apparently doesn't feel that long ago. Yeah, Doom 3 graphics were insane.
Wait, is
when
that
it came out.
Wait, what's the one? What is the Doom game that you came out? We were already living together, and you like souped up your graphics card because you realized you no longer had like the graphics.
Doom 3.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was the only time I ever even
And you
bought a
still
graphics
had to like
card.
downscale it to
Yeah.
like shitty to get it to run nicely.
The beta, it was like everyone was trying desperately to get the beta where you could play like the first level, like a stripped down version of the first level of Doom 3. And I remember when I first saw it, I was like, this is the fucking future of games. And actually, since then, I don't think any video game graphics have really pushed the envelope in that way yet. I mean, Red Dead Redemption is a beautiful game. We thought it was one of the best games we've ever seen graphically, but in terms of a leap forward, Doom 3 was the last time I can remember a game being like, boom, this shit is like really ahead of the game.
But even Doom 3 like looked really cool, but Red Dead was like transfixingly like gorgeous.
Tom Collector, yes, the game Descent. You're going to laugh at this, but one of my best friends in my 20s was actually on the ladder boards. I know you're going to think I'm lying because I already said I had a friend on the ladder boards for Warcraft 2.
No, this is a different
This
friend.
is true. I have another friend who was also one of the #1 Descent players in the country, and he used to win like those live matches where they'd like go and win
that
prizes
game
and
used
stuff.
to be huge.
If I can, I don't know if you ever played Descent back then in the 90s, but
What's his? I forget what. I don't even remember what his.
yeah, I don't remember. I think Bird's Eye something or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, Descent was amazing. I mean, I think Descent was actually, in terms of gameplay and turning that ray trace John Carmack style game programming engine into a fully 3D experience.
Oh, Ned Ryerson saying Red Dead story was underwhelming. I remember we played the first several hours of it like continually. It was so good, but
Yeah.
it does start to get a little grueling of a grind. But I like the swamp and all the creepy people you get to meet.
Yeah, I think what I made complaints with it is it feels like it could be something much more amazing than it actually amounts to be in terms of its game, in terms of the scripted gameplay you're supposed to go through. Like games like Zelda, even to me, like when I think of Zelda, to me Zelda or some of those other games or Metroid feel more like more real open world in terms of the levels you're supposed to like progress through to get through the game. Red Dead Redemption felt almost like too scripted, and maybe that's just because I'm just not used to new modern video games.
I mean, they wrote so much of that fucking script, so they were gonna make you experience it. Like it was obviously like they took you on this very specific path. Like even Grand Theft Auto, like maybe you played more of the missions or something, but like it just gets a little bit convoluted for me. I can't play those kind of games.
Furious Psyop, I'm glad you opened up this line of discussion.
Oh yeah.
Furious Psyop says, remember they tried hiring Trent Reznor to make the Doom 3 soundtrack, but backed out?
Was he all
Oh,
strung
yeah.
out or something?
I don't know, but I remember that very well because I'll tell you why.
He was. Yeah.
My friend got a fake Fox News press pass to go to E3 that year when they premiered Doom 3, and guess who was walking around the floor with his chest hair all sticking out with like a shirt
Was he
up
wearing,
and
like,
all the way down?
Tell me what was the shirt? Was it like velvet? Or
I think it was kind of
suede?
velvety, yeah.
Was it velvet or suede or leather?
Velvet.
I feel like Ben knows what.
It was like a
shirt
velvet.
it
He's
was.
got a picture of him with Trent.
Yes.
So we saw Trent walking around the floor. My friend and I lied to him and told him.
And this was way before he was health goth. Somebody's mentioning him.
Oh, yeah,
this is
no.
Before he looked
This
all
is-
roided out.
This is
back when
2004.
He was a hot little like bubblegum pop version of Ogre from Skinny Puppy.
Here, I'll exit out of the screen if you want, but the game's just gonna get fucked up. So you're gonna lose the game. You get what we asked for, Triox. Yeah. So we approached him and lied to him and told him that we were Fox News employees. We wanted to interview him about his soundtrack for Doom 3. He seemed extremely unimpressed and very, very irritated that we even approached him at all. We mentioned that we were huge Coil fans, which we thought would like win points with him. It didn't affect him at all.
He's probably like, "Shit, you guys found me out."
I thought that would be like instant win him over, like tell him we're huge Coil fans. Nothing, like zero. He just seemed to get even more irritated the longer we were talking to him. And then he agreed to let us interview him in the id Software / Acclaim booth. So we went there and they let us like hang out in the green room with like all the hors d'oeuvres and stuff. While like Trent was in this like pretty boy goth outfit with his like chest hair sticking out, and we were like about to go see like the premiere of Doom 3, and they were advertising it as if Trent Reznor's music was going to be there. But here's the thing: when we went there, we mainly went to just be able to talk to Ed Boon and play Mortal Kombat 5, and that's what we did. So we accomplished our goal. But we had all these other plans. So we were going to interview Mr. T. We had an interview actually lined up with Mr. T because he was like premiering in a game.
Just because you had like lanyards with like fake press passes.
Yeah, it didn't matter. They just like they were asking us if we could interview Mr. T like automatically because they knew we were like Fox reporters, even though we weren't. We were on an email list, and so we were in the line to interview Mr. T, and they had to like cut off the line of interviewers. But we were literally going to ask him interview questions that would make him violently attack us. And that was actually one of my biggest regrets in life, is not being able to get Mr. T on camera physically assaulting us.
Why were we gonna ask him about?
Oh,
Does he have some sleazy
we were going to
past?
basically start the
I'm
interview
not that
asking him
familiar
about
with
the
Mr.
character
T.
Mr. T and how he developed this fake character, this character named Mr. T. We were basically going to pretend and be naive about the whole thing and approach it as if we didn't understand that his whole life was like a lie and he was like pretending to be this like fake character.
Oh no.
We were going to like sort of
I don't
meta
think he would've
approach
liked
it.
That.
No, that's exactly true.
I don't think he would want to discuss behind the curtain like the performance art aspect of his Mr. T persona and how he's constructed that out in the world.
Ned Ryerson says, how many times have you posed as a reporter, Robbie? That's actually the only time I've done it. However, I have done... Jesus Christ, honey. That is so... hurts my ears. You can't do that right next to my ear again like that. Use a normal lighter.
Fine.
Fine. Jesus, I don't know what Laurie bought over here, but it sounds like a harsh, high-pitched, like 16 kilohertz tone straight into my ear.
It's like Satan's anal
Never
crack
again.
porch. It's so good.
But Ned Ryerson, I told the Ed Boon story on a previous episode. I don't know if I should tell it again. It's a little long. But the only other time I posed as something, we actually used the Fox press credentials and names of and news crew that we hoaxed a year before that to come out and film us doing fake urban exploration.
Oh, okay.
So the Fox News press passes we used, fake ones, we're actually using the real names of a Fox News local affiliate team that flew all the way up to the Bay Area to film me and my friend pretending to be urban explorers, even though we had never done it. We didn't give a shit about urban exploration at all, but we tricked the news crew into thinking that we were actually like urban exploration hobbyists, and we took them into the sewers. We made the news crew break and enter into UC Berkeley, like campus. It was fucking weird that they even like did any of this stuff with us. We brought like a female newscaster, like trophy wife looking newscaster, like down into the sewers.
I can't. I'm so. I did not. I was not hanging out with you at this point. I would have been very worried.
You would have been very worried?
Yeah.
You should have been very impressed. This
I know,
shit's
it is-
amazing.
it
What are you
is
thinking?
It is impressive, but poorly conceived.
Well, you did the beheading video with us.
That's true.
Do you want
I'm
to talk
the
about that?
camera woman. We could talk about
Let's
that.
talk about the beheading video.
Come on, we could do one tomorrow and talk about that the whole time.
What, you don't want to talk about the beheading video? People really want to hear about that.
Do they?
How much you guys want to hear Laurie talk about the beheading video, guys? Chime in. Chime in. Beheading video, says Fully do.
We need the details. Well,
We do, lots. We need the beheading video details, says Bert. The beheading video.
Well, we lived in Pleasanton at the time.
Yeah, just don't say his name. Everything else is
Okay.
fine.
Our friend was over and agreed to star in it, and we just conceived of it after what's the one that looked really bad, the beheading one, the
Nick Berg.
Nick Berg. After we saw the Nick Berg video, we were like, this could be very easily faked, and so we made a fake one in the garage. Took us like 10 minutes to make the fake blood. I filmed it. I was the one, I think, sawing our friend's neck.
I think you filmed me sawing his neck, maybe. Or maybe I filmed you sawing his neck. So I filmed some parts of it. You filmed the chair, all the chair parts where he was. You were like feeding him lines.
I wish we hadn't lost. We lost all the outtakes of it.
No, we didn't lose it. I
Really?
I
Those
I
are
was
good.
telling them before that Ben
doing all this Terminator shit.
Yeah, that
Like,
Ben
they're
was-
already dead.
Ben was pretending to be Kyle Reese in the chair from the Terminator original Terminator
I
movie.
put a bunch of dirt and like makeup on his face. It was very funny. But yeah, so that was. I mean, making it was funny, and then we just posted it like on Kazaa or SoulSeek or something, and then it wasn't until we got that weird call. It was like my birthday or something. It was really strange. The morning that everything broke, like your mom called and was like, "Ben's on Fox News." Sorry, our friend's on Fox News. Shit.
That's fine. He just said his
yeah.
first name.
Well,
People could find it out if they look it up. I just,
yeah.
out of respect for him,
don't
I
give
don't.
him a hard time. He's moved on from it.
Yeah, he doesn't want us to,
Yeah,
us
poor
to
guy.
talk about it too much.
Yeah. So I apparently, and so we like hopped in the car to drive out to his place in San Francisco, and like while we were on our way there, like the FBI called your cell phone, and they were like, "We're at your house. Where are you guys?" So that was terrifying, and they weren't even that interested. They didn't talk to me at all. They didn't even understand how to operate a DVD. Like Robbie burned them a DVD of the video, and they were just like, "What were you thinking?" We were just like, "What? Is it illegal to make like a crazy, weird video that seems like a beheading video?" It's
But they
not.
never spoke to you.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, nobody ever asked us any questions. Like
I
watching
mean,
all
nobody
them-
ever asked you any questions.
Nobody ever asked me any
Yeah.
questions. I guess
I got sat down by the FBI in the coffee shop, and I remember
Oh
you
yeah,
just.
they threatened you
Well-
using me as like.
Yes, they did, but
That was creepy.
But what was weird is they knew Laurie was with me in the car. They presumably knew that you were involved in making the video too. And for some reason, when I arrived to meet the FBI at this coffee shop, Laurie just walks out of the car and walks away, and the FBI don't say anything, and I'm the one being interviewed. And I remember thinking that was odd. So I think you went up and just hung out with Ben.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what? God, I
I
said it
w-
again. You
Shit.
just so you went upstairs and hung out with him, and
told
I
you
got
I didn't wanna talk about
I got
this.
interviewed by the FBI in a coffee shop for about
Yeah, it was
45
like a
minutes.
Starbucks in San Francisco. It was really awkward, over by like the financial district where he used to live, or the wherever the fuck. And it was just it was strange. All the media stuff, like Geraldo saying he wanted to kick our friend's ass, and like it was sad to see how dumb people were, because I remember my parents were not happy. I was like 19.
Yeah, I think my mom was and parents are probably not happy either. But yeah, I mean it was a fun time.
Yeah,
It was a
I
pretty
mean,
crazy time.
yeah, like I mean, it just shows how fucking stupid people are, though, that they'll just believe anything you show them. Like, it was very easy. You just degraded the video by just like, sort of like
Yeah.
recompressing it and like introducing all these like transcoding errors, and then like adding some fucking was like Cavalli music. We added like Nosferatu or something over it. 'Cause Ben listened
No.
early 'cause we were listening-
Well, we added music from a Zarqawi video.
Oh shit!
We added,
oh,
so
sorry,
we
we
actually
sampled the
added.
Zarqawi
Yeah, we
video.
sampled. We culture
We're
jammed
like
here.
we're like Muslim.
We're
gods.
doing
We're,
negative
like,
land
super
style
authentic.
shit. We did culture jamming on Zarqawi videos, and inserted pieces of it into our video. So the media just ran with the idea that it was a Zarqawi release,
Would
even
you-
though we just like straight up just stole like a screenshot of like one of his logos and put it in there.
My favorite part is that picture of the mosque at the end. Where's that from?
Oh, the
Is that
mosque on
also just
fire.
stolen from another video.
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
something?
It's stolen from one of his videos.
Yeah.
I mean, and so one of the interesting things I think for us at the time was we almost on a gut level, our hope was that people were so hungry that like neocons and these people were so hungry for things to make Muslims like look really scary because of how much press the Nick Berg video was getting, that we just had this like gut level feeling that that it didn't even matter if it was fake, that on some level someone would really try to utilize this for some kind of propaganda purposes, and then it happened. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. We put no effort into putting it out there into the world.
Bird World, this happened in August 2004. Bayonets and Harmonicas, we uploaded it on Kazaa, and we labeled it Zarqawi Beheads American Soldier in Iraq. .avi or something like that.
Yeah.
And about 3 months later is when it got absorbed somehow by somebody who decided to write an AP Associated Press wire story about American soldier beheaded in Iraq. Like no fact checking, they could have called him. He says his name and gives his phone number in the video.
And address. He gives his
And
full
address. That's the craziest shit. He literally gives his real personal information, so there's no excuse whatsoever why the media would not have fact checked it and even just tried calling the phone number or something. It's fucking insane.
Well, I think it was Reuters that reported it, that got it into the wire services, but then it was AP that found their way up to his apartment, like through his, sort of doorman, like protected sort of building. Somehow got inside up to his front door and asked him, "Hey, I thought you were dead. Saw this video.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about it?"
He was a stringer. He was like a independent guy, cameraman who would sell
Who
his
showed up
footage
at, like,
to AP.
5 in the morning.
Yeah, so AP didn't even send one of their official reporters to like check on our friend to see if he was alive or if that video is legit or whatever. A guy who like independently contracts with AP on his own decided to go check out the information, and then he happened to find my friend alive. That's how fucking irresponsible that shit was.
I guess I'll just go to the address of the video and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I guess
Like
I'll just
5
wait for
hours-
somebody to leave in the morning.
Well, that's the crazy thing. 5 hours after it already became a wire story that happened, the guy actually tried to go to his front door. Now, in between that time, 5 hours of a wire story going out is like days of fake news damage in the pipeline. Like the story of my friend being beheaded was in the international news in the pipeline, like as a real story for like 48 to 72 hours
Yeah,
in
you
different outlets all over the world, different countries,
was like-
India. It was nuts.
It was like, Oz was still saying it's an early art house deepfake. That's a good term for it. But it was places like the Borneo Times were still reporting it as fresh news like 3 days later, because you could get the news on the internet, but it was a different world in 2004. Like news was still like a slower process. The cycle hadn't quite compressed into like the snap that it is today.
Yeah. I mean, somebody would have... I don't know if that could happen now quite like that. I mean, I'm sure with a deep fake, someone's going to do eventually a deep fake of like a celebrity being killed or something, where it's gonna
Or
trigger
doing something crazy or saying something.
Yeah, where there'd be
insane.
like several hours where they can't get a hold of the person, and everybody would just assume it's real. Like it's gonna happen at some point. I mean, I'm already like kind of thinking of doing different deep fake experiments in a very heavy agenda 4, but I don't want to drag down its release time any longer than it's already been. So I might not do it for that movie and just release it as its own thing.
Yeah. You wanna
Tom
play any other
Collector
games for a little bit?
says, is it just me, or since Corona stuff ramped up, time feels like it is moving much slower? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, definitely time distortion in anxious and heightened mental states for sure. I mean, I think I kind of know what you mean, Tom. I mean, like it does. I have almost felt like I've been tripping like on LSD or something at certain points during this. And I've only been smoking weed, so it's a pretty weird time. I think on some level or another, we're all experiencing weird mental distortions. It's hard to process, even if you just turn on the news right now. I mean, it's getting scary. Like, it was already scary enough where you see the Fox News Chiron saying that hospital beds were going to be run out in America and all this shit a few days ago. Now they're like, cheering on Trump for being a wartime president who's going to go after China. And it's like, yikes. Like, they're using this like 9/11. It's and I'm only really talking about Fox News. Surprisingly, CNN and MSNBC are not beating the war drums on China. They were also calling it a Chinese virus at first, but they're not anymore. And the Trump administration is using that as like a foil to be like, CNN was calling it a Chinese virus, so why can't we now? And it's like, no, dude, you don't understand. I mean, the whole thing's a joke, a ruse, because CNN was also obviously taking the bait on some neocon propaganda originally, and they decided not to take it anymore. So now the Trump administration is pushing that same neocon propaganda out, calling it a Chinese virus. That's how they want their right-wing followers to refer to it. And they're going to use that as a leveraging chip for some kind of war-making effort with China. It's kind of odd how we're not even talking about Putin or Russia anymore at all. It's just all China. That kind of like went up like a poof of smoke. Like, are the tensions with Putin even still happening?
I don't know.
You want to comment on
Are
that?
you throwing to me?
Yeah, I'm
finally?
throwing to you.
Oh, cool. I like Ozwistle's story about making a fake severed head. That was so good that the cops got mad and wanted to arrest you.
Nice. That's
No,
a good. I
that's
like that trick.
impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just watching old Tom Savini appearances on David Letterman show from the 80s, and they're really fun because he brings props from like the movie Day of the Dead and different movies he was part of in the 80s, and they look like real severed heads and stuff. He just like brings out on stage and lets David Letterman play with them. Puts like a squib on David Letterman's head and shoots him and makes his brains fly out the back of his head. But it's fun.
But I think Ned Ryerson also earlier up comments said, did anyone report that it was fake? Yes, the real story was after it broke that the video was fake. People were like, people should be arrested, throw them in jail. So my parents were thrilled to get to hear that on the news in the evening.
I like these comments. Ned Ryerson says coronavirus has disrupted the space-time continuum. Yeah, I know what you're feeling there.
Is it
I
correct
totally
in the
understand
world
that.
opened up when Trump got to be president?
I don't know. It could be something like The Mist. I keep thinking of The Mist. Out of all these like apocalypse movies, it's not like Contagion. It's not Outbreak. I'm thinking of The Mist, and it's because of that scene at the end where it's like we got to shoot the child in the head.
It's because we keep going to the grocery store.
No, it's the grocery store pandemonium, obviously, but the last scene where he's like, the monsters are gonna kill us all in the
Yeah,
car. We only
yeah.
have this amount of bullets. It's just I'm just gonna shoot you all,
Uh-huh.
and then all of a sudden they're saved. But I feel like that's how the government's treating us right now. Is they're treating us like the dad in The Mist about to shoot his kid in the head.
You want to play a game?
I don't know if I want to play Sunset.
Let's play a tiny little game.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever heard the Dr. Laura soundboard?
Oh my God, yeah, the Dr. Laura soundboard. Dr. Laura, we used to be...
You be you, and I'll be your mom.
Laurie and I used to listen to Dr. Laura just as a weird, curious fascination until she got fired
She's
on air
evil.
for going on a torrent rant of N-words for no reason.
She's a bad lady.
It's just also a total neocon.
Well,
And I know you guys think I think everyone's a neocon, but she was a straight up fucking neocon, Dr. Laura.
Okay. Lightbringer? This doesn't look good.
We have not played Simpsons arcade game yet, Ned Ryerson. You read my goddamn mind, because that is what I was looking for.
Cool.
It's not called Simpsons arcade game though on here. They call it something else, which is annoying. Mystic Warriors. Yeah, this is the first game we played on MAME Politics.
No.
That game's awful.
What
Remember
the
this pile of shit?
Nope. No.
Magical Cat Adventure. Jesus, there's so many bad
Magical
games
Cat Adventure?
on here. Yeah.
Is there a Samurai Pizza Cats game? Anybody remember that?
There
cartoon?
probably is. Yeah, of course there is. There's another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ripoff. Samurai Pizza Cats.
There's some sort of electronic
Holy shit.
noise. You got AV problems.
Francisco, yeah, I think you tuned in late. Yeah, I was told that too. I don't know what's going on.
Robbie's never actually called me a neocon.
So did someone ask if I've called Laurie a neocon?
We don't get into too many political arguments.
I mean, I haven't ever called anyone a neocon that I know personally, but I have like thought a few times, like, damn, that person turned into a neocon, like to myself. Shit. Not Laurie though. Laurie's never turned into a neocon.
Undercover cops.
Oh, there's undercover cops. Oh yeah, that is bad. It's like a beat 'em up. Another goddamn beat 'em up. Boom. All right, here we go. This is one of my favorite games.
March!
You want to be Marge?
Do I?
Well, I think you have to. No, I have to be. Oh no, it's not 2 players? Wait a second.
What the hell?
Let's figure this out here. Oh no, it's another one of those situations where we...
Not
It's not
configured.
2-player. Yeah, for some reason,
Not
some of the 2-player
configured.
games on here don't... God damn it.
Dental plan.
How's the Tenderloin District going? Emu sings. We don't live in San Francisco, but I'll ask around. I don't
Yeah,
know.
We're not gonna go over and check, but I
Yeah.
hope it's doing okay.
What should we play?
I don't know. Some of these look terrible though. We've really gotten through the cream of the crop.
I think we pretty much have. Wait, this is weird.
All right. Parallel driving game looks like shit.
What about we do a
Ooh, is that a 2-player game or not?
I think it is.
Is it co-op or?
I think so.
Alright.
See, co-op 2-player old school arcade games.
1 player only. Great.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh, good. It's 2 players at the same time.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. You're not up there?
No, it's not me.
Are you serious?
That is not me.
Oh, okay. Well, then you
Better
play
hurry.
next. You play next.
You better get all that money or something.
I don't understand what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's a problem. Can you carry all that gold? Oh, good. What happens if that guy gets you?
I don't know. I don't like this game.
Yeah. This is why you usually try to pre-select.
Yeah. Somebody got
no.
really excited about that one before I
Sorry.
turned it off.
Sorry, we can't figure it out.
Oh, this game's great. Yeah, let's play this. This is a good.
Oh yeah.
This is a good.
we
I think
played
this is
this
Capcom.
On our own.
Yeah, Tom Collector. I've been seeing mixed things about that recently. I don't know. You can have a chat with some of my own viewers about that. I saw them having a discussion.
参りましょう。この組み合わせで出発します。
I didn't see anything myself.
How come you can't join?
I think it might only be 1 player at the same time. Let's see.
It was like Boogie Nights or whatever the fuck.
Kind of. It is kind of like Boogie Wings.
Okay. Okay. This is kind of cute, I guess. Oh no.
Francisco, where are you? Francisco says we're officially in a state of emergency 3 hours ago. Are you talking about the U.S.? I don't think you're talking about the U.S. makes you want to get all those power-ups, but they don't seem to do anything.
Yeah.
Your regular weapon already seems so powerful. Damn, this is crazy. Oh, shit.
Ah, fuck. Oh, you got
The-
all my things.
The color scheme on this game is neat, but it's also a little too like pastel looking on the screen. Maybe it's the screen we're looking at it on.
Yeah.
It looks better on the
Oh, good. I have a reset weapon just in time for the fucking.
it actually looks better on the computer screen on our OBS.
Oh, hell yeah. It does. Fuck.
But it's slower. So I'm trying to play it on there and it's way slower.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Don't try.
Actually, kind of get the hang of it. There's a little delay. Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, this game has a really nice aesthetic. Those explosion sprites too. This is
So
great.
Japanese. They're just shouting things out.
And I wasn't joking yesterday when I told everybody, no matter what country you live in right now, make sure you have enough supplies. Because you never know which country is going to start issuing mandatory stay-in orders. So if you're not stocked up for at least a few weeks right now to sustain you and your family and your loved ones and whatever household you live in or home you live in, I would say do that now. Do it now, so you're just not worrying and panicking and scurrying to do it when it feels like the heat's really on. And even if I'm wrong about that, I mean, you know, I just think it's better to be prepared than not prepared. Jesus Christ!
Oh, fuck.
One of the bombs you get is like a thing that sucks in all the bullets. You
Yeah.
notice that? It's
Oh, I
cool.
love
It kind of reminds me of Radiant Silvergun, right?
Yeah. It is
You
fun.
don't
It's
get
like,
power-up bombs. Do you get bombs on Radiant
it's like
Silvergun?
metal slug radiant silvergun.
Yeah. Except it's still not quite as like elegantly done. Like the amount of bullets you're firing out of your gun is just kind of like, it seems like your hitbox is really small too. Like you have to get hit like right in the center of your
Yeah.
ship to get killed.
Mhm.
They give
Yeah,
you a lot of
that really
leeway.
helps with the
Yeah,
game.
see, I just got.
Oh shit!
It's too much.
Oh, you got all my shit.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you
I
did.
did?
Yeah, you did.
Get that. Those are bombs, I think.
Cool. We start something for the boss.
Oh. Shit. I guess we're supposed to hit that. Oh wait, I guess it doesn't matter. Huh.
Yeah. Oh no.
Nice. Huh. Yeah, it kind of, when you get to the like these underwater stages, it kind of reminds you of what's it called? In the Hunt? The
Yeah.
underwater shooter that we played.
But more action.
It's way easier too. And that game had like that game actually meant like they programmed it to make it feel like you're underwater. Like it's actually slow. And your little bullets like fly out of the front of your ship like it seems like they're using like water physics or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This just has a total smooth, no delay kind of controls to it, which is how I prefer my shoot 'em ups to be. Although I like what the In the Hunt's trying to go for. It's like it's an obviously really hard worked on game. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't been paying attention to my Twitter feed, I want you to go on it and check it out. That Tucker Carlson's limited hangout operation is over, and his neocon coming out party has begun. Full force, full fucking force. And I don't say that lightly at all. This was an op the whole time. His father is one of the most heavily trained U.S. propagandists that's ever existed. Look up Dick Carlson, head of the VOA. He's also on the vice chairman of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, the same think tank that's right now, is basically saying that they're excited that Iranians are dying en masse from this because it'll help take down the regime. And they like all these harsh new sanctions on Iran. So Tucker's a real, he's a sneaky little bastard, but he's been caught. He was part of a neocon limited hangout operation this entire time. And everyone needs to start realizing that. People like Glenn Greenwald need to stop fucking around and actually call this motherfucker out immediately. This shit's not a game anymore. So I would recommend anybody from in this chat, please tell these people who are promoting Tucker Carlson, who are giving him ball rubs and back pats, that they are now helping facilitate a neocon propagandist pushing dangerous neocon propaganda, and they need to stop immediately. And I would recommend everybody to start going out there and doing that. That guy Cigar from the Hill, an obvious neocon plant, no question about it. I mean, I don't know how he didn't appear on my radar until only like 2 weeks ago that he was part of the Hudson Institute. I just saw the anti-Chinese stuff he was putting out that was like very scripted, very trickled down from neocon think tanks. Now it's just completely obvious that it was a ruse the whole time. I like Rears City. It's probably a good... Oh, fuck! Sometimes you'll watch these speed runs where they'll just do strats where they did like hover right near the boss's like weak point or something the whole time. It's like, what are you doing? It'd be never how I would play a game. Should we wrap? I'm doing it for 120 minutes.
Yeah, my eyes are watering.
Well, thank you again for joining MAME Politics. So this was episode 51 during a global pandemic, COVID-19 Bay Area lockdown special. We played Missing in Action. We played... What else did we play?
I don't know, we played everything.
Bagman?
No, I don't think we played Bagman.
We played it for like a second.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, that was a weird old... Well, I don't know if it was terrible.
Probably the best game we played. This
I
and
think
Sunset
so.
Riders.
What game is this? Oh yeah, Sunset Riders. We played Sunset Riders.
Progear no Arashi.
Progear no Arashi. This is a Capcom game from, I think, from like 1999 or 2000. Yeah, check this game out if you guys are into MAME. It's pretty cool. And yeah, thank you again for joining me and Laurie tonight. It was nice to say hi to all you guys and you know, the usual thing. And as always, if you want to get access to all of these episodes, all of the previous 50, to get access to all the hidden or locked episodes, about 1/3 of them are locked or hidden, you can become a Patreon subscriber of mine for as little as $5 a month, and you get immediate access to all of those episodes and a bunch of other streams, exclusive streams that I've done that are not also public on my YouTube channel. So thank you again, and everybody stay safe out there. Take this seriously. It's not, you know, and if you see friends of yours or people on social media that you care about thinking that this is a hoax or that QAnon is doing this all some kind of cover to arrest the pedo elite and it's all fake and there is no virus, I would seriously consider reaching out to them and try to reason with them and get them to at least prepare and buy like groceries and stuff, especially if they have kids. I mean, there's people who are like QAnon cultists who have children. I mean, and I just don't want anyone to get killed out there or die from just not preparing properly. So, take care, everybody. Peace.